Well, hello.
Well,
How are you
hello.
doing, sir?
It's earlier than we usually talk, so
It's a lot earlier than we usually do.
I don't know. I actually don't know how this is going to work out.
I don't either.
Usually have a
Maybe we
full
should
day
just
of
not do this.
gripes. I'm fine with not doing it. Well, it was good talking to you. Nice talk.
Yeah,
Nice.
we
good talk.
didn't put any prep into this or anything, so hey,
I mean, I didn't. I never put any prep into this, so
I know who does.
why should today
Like,
be any different
than? Why are you going to be that? You're.
I do like that
if
you
put
changed
too
your
much into
background for us. It looks good.
it. Yeah. I like the barn door effect behind you there.
Well, thank you, because it's not an effect.
Well, I mean,
real.
it's
I mean,
also not a real
barn.
door,
It's not.
so it's kind of an effect.
I mean, anyway.
I'm off center a little. Okay.
I mean, we're talking politics again already.
We agreed not to go there.
So this is kind of weird because I don't know whether I'm supposed to say hello to people because this is the first,
they're not
probably
usually
only
here.
time we've done this live like this.
Probably, yeah. It's most likely the only time that we've done this live.
I don't know. It feels wrong. Anyway, it's good to see you, and
Good to see you.
hello
too.
to everybody who is stopping by live. And Claire, for some reason, only Claire from the Great British Mickey Waffle Podcast, only Claire would go on vacation to Greece and then stop everything she's doing to watch us.
Yeah. What is that
about
about?
stuff.
Greece.
I don't know.
Why? What are you doing in Greece?
It's where the first French fries were fried.
That it is, yeah. And you see,
Yeah.
something that's interesting, and I was at Disney Springs over the weekend and walking around, and I guess I just haven't noticed it before, but the giant sort of manhole covers that cover grease traps, like massive underground grease traps that I guess are huge or something. And I was thinking just how, it would be bad to fall down a manhole cover anyway, but falling down that one.
How do you know that they're covering a grease trap?
Because they say on it grease, and one of them says grease trap on it.
Really? So wait. In Disney Springs, you're saying there's manhole covers in the middle of the walkway that say grease trap on them?
Yeah. I mean, close to one would assume, close to restaurants. But
do you often read the titles or the words on the?
Well, you want to know what you're walking
around?
over, don't you? I mean, if it's a sewer, if it's water, if it's the subway.
What do they say if it's the sewer one? Like.
Well, I don't walk over that one. Just in case. It's.
Do you ever walk over like the kind that you're walking down the street, and usually this is in a city, and I think it's those. I don't know. I guess where they make deliveries into a basement or something, but they have the metal doors that close shut.
Oh yeah,
like metal doors.
Yeah.
And have you ever walked around or walked either on one of those or thought about walking on and then thought better of it and then stepped aside? You're like, I'm not going to walk on that. I feel like that's probably a disaster waiting to happen.
Yes. And I do that in New York as well. Like when you go over those grates that are there for the air to escape the subway when the trains are flying through, and the air will blow straight up out of them every now and then.
Yeah.
And that's always so weird, right? Because you're like, I'm walking on this metal grate that is saving me from like a blazing fast train going through the tunnel right below me. That would suck if I fell through this.
And all I can think is, good thing I'm wearing pants.
True, yeah, instead of the usual skirt that you wear.
Well, right.
Jason
Mark Jones is
McCanap walking around in his kilt.
Mark Jones is suspecting that it could be a secret portal to Greece. And that would be fun. Wouldn't that be great? If
secret portal to Greece? After a while,
to various places.
You want a variety of destinations.
Like you just fall through and you're thump.
It'd be fun to like where you fell out in Greece, like right in the middle of a town square or something somewhere. Just like, oh, hey. And like after like a couple of years, they get used to you just falling out of nothingness into their town. They're just like, oh,
there goes
Jason.
another one. That's the accent they'd have in Greece. Probably.
It's a very Grecian accent.
It'd be very.
Hello there, Jason.
Hey, well, Claire's there.
Good eye.
So it just popped up.
Well, that's Australia.
So I wanted to talk to you about something.
Well, can I guess which one it is? Because I tell you the one that I want to hear more about. If we can we can do that.
Also, I just need to wait for those of you who are tuning in, expecting to see a lunch break here. I'm so sorry.
Psych.
You get to see Marcus, which is better than a lunch break, and it's Tuesday, so you should have known better.
I am the majestic vista that Jason is broadcasting from.
Vista. Oh, and I should congratulate you also.
Me?
Yeah, on your
for
on your flight this morning to space. I saw you.
Oh yes.
Jeff Bezos
My,
and the people. It was
my 18-year-old clone. Got blown into space today.
You look like 2 minutes older than that guy, by the way.
Well, you know.
Like, I mean,
it's the Grecian formula.
It's Marcus. Like,
it was like remarkably me. Like a lot of times people will throw things at me like, this looks like you. And I'm like, I don't know, maybe.
That was,
but that one I was like, oh, wow. I thought that was me.
That was doppelganger. Yeah. I mean, like back in, if you just went back, I'd say even a decade, you could totally pass for that.
Yeah. When I was 18, I didn't look like that.
You looked younger.
I was
right?
a lot scrawnier back then. And so maybe that was like maybe me around 28 or so. But
yeah, okay. Well, see,
like
I wasn't that far
substantially wise, like not youthful wise.
Yeah. I wasn't that far off. So what do you want me? So you're trying to guess?
So yes, the one
the
pin that you sent me that I find entertaining just to say is.
I know where you're going.
Yeah,
you're gonna get me worked up.
Oh. Well, we can't have that. So anyway, it's conspiratorial phlebotomist, which I thought would make a fantastic They Might Be Giants album title. But what? What?
So
I think that's our show title, by the way. Episode title.
I was going. Okay, I'd been putting off getting blood work done. Like physician ordered blood work. So I needed to do it. I don't like doing that because they make you do things like fast.
Ugh, yeah.
And when they mean like real fast, they don't mean not that there's a slow fast. You know what I mean? They mean like you can't have anything, not even tea, or they even put on their gum, no gum. I'm like, I don't. But what about sugar-free gum?
And what can maybe? I'm
and then
convinced
it makes me think,
that smelling
brush my
things
teeth?
don't give something to you because it's too pleasant to smell freshly baked chocolate chip cookies for that not to actually have an effect on your health.
I worry. Like I'm pretty sure my triglycerides are elevated because I brushed with Crest.
That's a good point.
You know, I mean, if I had brushed with, I don't know. I
can't remember.
They say you can brush your teeth. They say you can brush your teeth. Anyway, so I had made an appointment at the local Five and Dime, at the local Quest laboratory place, and
not at the soda jerk.
And I make it for early in the day, like 8:30, which I wish I gotten earlier because I was up for 2 hours at that point and
not eating,
eating or drinking anything, right? And just sitting around, knowing that if I got there early, it wouldn't help anyway. They'd just stare at me. So that I get there and I go through the process, which was fine. I got to wait in the car, but then I did. So that's the thing. They sent me I checked in when I got there from the parking lot, and I guess it's a new COVID thing. You can wait from wherever you want, basically, and so then you get the text message back saying you're checked in. You can wait in your car. You can wait in the lobby. We will either call or text you when it's your turn.
Cool.
And I sat there for about 15 seconds before I decided there's no possible way this is going to work. Like I have zero trust in this system.
Like you don't think they've even know you're there yet.
Well, I believe that the computer knows I'm there. I don't think that there's and I believe that the human being is going to look at the computer and see that I've checked in maybe. Mm-hmm. But I don't know whether are they going to know that I'm not in the building? Are they going to know that I'm in the car? Because then I'm thinking, couldn't I have just done this from home?
Well, that's a good point.
Couldn't have just checked in like anyway. So then I decided, I'm bailing on the car. I'm going to go inside, and I get inside.
They yell at you.
And there's another check-in spot, like the traditional check-in spot with the computer things. And I'm wondering, do I need to do this again? Because there's the check-in and there's no sign that says, if you've already checked in from your vehicle, you don't have to check in again.
Yeah.
So now I'm thinking, oh, that's a good thing I came inside because I have to check in again. And so I got on the little computer thingy and I put in my name and stuff. And then it says, okay, you're checked in. And so it didn't say like, oh, you're already checked in.
Right. It's acting
It wasn't like
I mean, it could mean that. But
so now I don't know. I don't know. Yeah. I don't have a counterfactual. Like I have no idea whether I would have been okay or not.
Right.
And there's in this for the Loki fans out there, understand like there's now this like parallel universe, there's like Splinter where I didn't do it again and I'm having some other result.
You anyway, could still be there.
I sit in there and this place is arranged. It looks like that same morning, some email came through from corporate saying, you got to physically distance all the chairs in the place. Like, you got to like move these chairs. You can't have any more than this number of chairs, right? Because over in the corner of the room are all the chairs that have probably now been there for a year.
Right.
Like that. But they haven't done anything with them. So there's just like 20 chairs. Or? It's like practically a pile of chairs over in the corner of this waiting area. I know they probably don't have on-site storage or anything, but you could have arranged them such that it looked like maybe
stack them or something.
It wasn't like a group of second graders who decided to arrange. Anyway, so I'm sitting there waiting, and that gives me less. I have now less faith in the system. And then I'm waiting, and then they call me, and this woman yells like, Jason. I'm like, oh, there's no way I would have heard that from the car.
Right.
There's no possible way. Now, maybe she yells, and if there's no answer after 16 times, then she goes and gets on the system.
Well, that's the thing. Yeah, I guess it would have to be on the system. She didn't walk around in the parking lot yelling your name.
Right. Clearly, that's not their first. They don't first choose that. So I felt like, okay, I chose properly. So then, yes, there is a variant. There's a variant Jason. God, oh help! I don't know. Like maybe I am the variant Jason. Maybe there's a real.
Oh man, you mean I got screwed again?
Yeah, you got the variant. I'm sorry about that.
Dang it.
So she calls my name. I go to the back, and now I'm getting my game face on, because I don't know if you're like this or not, but I have a particular personality for blood draws.
Oh, I don't know about this.
Yeah, so the Jason of blood draws world is affable, cooperative,
yeah, chatty,
only appropriately chatty. Okay. I like to. I feel like I adjust to the level of chattiness. It's not unlike being like in an Uber, and you kind of adjust to the level of the chattiness of the driver.
Right.
So generally, as a rule, I don't want to chat with anybody. You know this. Yeah, everybody knows this. I'd rather than just like, okay, here's your stuff. Okay, thank you. And so I will ask. Typically, I will ask like one question, something like either how are you, or something a little more interesting than that if I can pick up on something.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember what I said to this person, but whatever it was, it broke the seal because she never stopped.
Really?
I sat in the little chair, where I'm never sure like which arm. Like I know that they tend to want to use the arm that is not your dominant arm, but I don't know that I've had both situations, and I think they just take the one that's closer to where they like to stand, where their stuff is. Yeah. I give her this. Oh, this is the thing. Because I'm also already self-conscious about this. I don't have an electronic requisition, like an electronic. I have a piece of paper with all the tests on it, right? And it's a lot of tests. It's been a long time. So it's like my doctor basically decided I'm going to check every single box on this chart except for like female hormones.
Right. It's if you're pregnant.
So I'm gonna like so I hand this thing over and I'm waiting for the reaction. Like, oh no.
Like, she's going to look at that and go, oh, geez, there goes my afternoon.
She didn't, which I was like, oh, thank God. But she turns around and she starts entering it into the computer. And this is like a 10-minute process. And I'm watching her on the screen. And then I'm watching her erase something and then pop something back in and then keeps going down the list. And then enters, erase something. I'm like, oh my gosh. She's like, and then there was one test they didn't have. And I'm like, no problem. Don't worry about it. I'm sure it's not important.
Well, we don't want
I
to
don't know
have
what he's
rabies,
thinking. What's that guy
sir.
thinking? I don't know what he's thinking. He knows. He's always selecting tests that you can't run. Ha ha ha. I mean, whatever I can do to like make her, feel comfortable.
Which I'm sure that's making her feel comfortable.
Needle in my arm. And then at some point, I remember because the doctor who ordered my doctor, because I traveled back to California,
yes,
and that sort of thing, and so she comments because this doctor's in California, and she comments about like, oh, he's in California. Where's this? California. Blah blah blah. And I said, oh yeah, I lived there, and this is where I traveled to, and blah blah blah. And she's like, oh, that's a nice place. That was it. She said, that's a nice place. I said, oh, you've been to so and so, and she says, yes, I'm from Jamaica. As if
wait.
As if I should be surprised. Like I said, oh, you've been, she said something like, oh, I like San Francisco and I like Oakland and blah, blah. And I was like, oh, you've been there? She's like, oh, yes, I'm from Jamaica. I'm like, oh.
So logically.
Like that's right. That's a thing. Like, so she's well-traveled is what I think with her implication is like, okay, oh, I'm from Jamaica, so I'm well-traveled. Like, okay. And then she begins to talk about Jamaica, but here's the other thing: no Jamaican accent. Mm-hmm. She sounded like she was from. She might as well have been from Oakland. She might as well have been from Winter Garden.
Yeah, maybe is there a Jamaica, California?
Probably, but like, no accent at all.
Right.
Okay, so I am now confused. But she's going on to talk about how her husband is a physician, I think, in Jamaica, and then okay, and we have to just the caveat here is we try not to be controversial on this podcast, but we tend to get a little more controversial than other things,
and not in the ways you would think.
Yeah, but she mentions about how in September, and I don't even know if her dates are right. Like in September, they're not going to be requiring masks on the airplanes, and so she's happy about there's not going to be any more of that nonsense. I'm like, oh no.
Yeah, and this is from your healthcare professional.
Oh no. So now I'm listening to her. Now she's going to start she's beginning to talk about like it becomes conspiratorial.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. And all the things, and she's talking about how when she just traveled back to Jamaica, I'm like, oh no, don't tell me just like we're on international travel and you're not a big believer in this stuff because she clearly wasn't vaccinated.
I was licking the seats. I didn't care.
I mean, she was like, there's not, and all sorts of reasons as to why she's not vaccinated. I'm not going to get into those things, but apparently because she's also a mortician.
Okay.
That's what her husband is. He's not a physician. He's a priest. But they're also morticians because apparently it's a package deal or something there.
Yeah, I was about to say, now that sounds like a racket.
And so she's also like she's a mortician and a phlebotomist and blah blah blah. And because she's a mortician, they travel with diplomatic status in Jamaica, so they don't have to quarantine. Is what she told me.
Morticians are diplomats?
Marcus? She's telling me all this as I have a needle in my arm and she's drawing blood from me. Vial after vial after vial. And I'm well aware that one little jiggle and I'm in a different state of physical comfort. So I'm just standing there like, I'm sitting there taking it like, oh, yeah, that's terrible, And I'm trying to have this conversation in a way that doesn't like compromise my own values but at the same time doesn't compromise my physical comfort.
Right? I don't know that values are necessarily at the top of the priority list right now. Getting
Yes.
the hell out is probably.
I just
Liar.
wanted it to. I just wanted it to be over. So finally, it was like I get to the last one. I can tell, like, okay, thank goodness. Like I even went to participate in the finger on the piece of, they put the little. It's not cotton swab. It's like a little piece of folded up. Yeah, that stuff.
Okay.
They put it on the little spot, and I like even went to participate. But like, a lot of times they'll say, "Put your finger there," because they're going to get the tape or whatever. But she didn't. She kept her finger there the whole time. So it was this odd moment where both of our fingers were on the thing, uncomfortably close. And I'm like, okay, I'm just going to move my finger away now.
Start some kind of a seance or something.
That was weird because now I'm thinking like, yeah, because she got into this was also the day after the Haitian president was assassinated, and so there was a conversation about that.
Oh, of course.
And all the stuff that they learned about Haiti as children, and they learned a lot about the Jamaican public education system, and how they feel about Haitians, which is not great.
That's unfortunate.
And it was a lesson in civics. It was a lesson in
I don't know that it was
diplomacy
a
of
lesson
phlebotomists. It was it was yeah. And I got out of there. I got out of there as fast as I could. I got back to the car, and I just sat there. I was like, "What just happened?" I think the first thing I did, I sent you a pin. I think that was the first.
Yeah.
I don't even know what time. What time did I send that to you?
I'd have to look. Let me look here.
Yeah, it was at 9:29 a.m.
Okay. Yeah, I remember it coming out of nowhere.
Probably had just gotten. Yeah.
Going, oh, what was that?
Like, yep, that's. So that's
interesting. Yeah, and your doctor sent you to this place?
Well, they just give me the script. They just send me the order for the blood work, right? Which also just annoys me. Okay, I don't think we've talked about this either, but why do I need a doctor's order to get blood? It's my blood. If I can understand an insurance company
give it as a gift to somebody. That's like,
well, I mean, I can understand an insurance company saying like, "Oh, well, if you want us to pay for it, it needs to be a doctor order."
Yeah,
blah,
sure.
blah, 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 right? Well, what if I just want to know what's my vitamin D level?
Mm-hmm.
Now, increasingly, there are commercial commercial enterprises that will do this for you.
Yeah, I would think,
but it's still difficult to get it done, and it's super expensive. But like the same as I feel the same way about prescriptions. Like if I have been taking the same prescription drug for 20 years, why is it that I have to
because you don't know squat about what's going on inside your body.
Because sometimes the doctor, you get this script, right? It's for, I don't know, say I don't know what I don't take a lot of medicine that's under there, but like people take it for cholesterol, right? Like once it's established that you need like a statin, for example, why do you have to keep getting a script for the statin? You just know that you need it. I don't have to get a script for Tylenol.
No, but
Tylenol will kill me.
Something could have changed in you that'll make this new thing kill you.
No ridiculousness. Like, what about
I know my
people
body
who
better
take
than
medicine for
anybody.
migraines? People take medicine for migraines, right? There's a lot of prescription drugs for that sort of thing, right? But it really, like, if you've been taking it for 20 years, you don't need a script anymore. You shouldn't need a script anymore. If you've
been taking it for 20 years, maybe it's a problem.
I can eat a full jug of Metamucil if I want.
I would rather you didn't.
I'm just saying. I think the system is gated to a ridiculous extent, and we see some of these things beginning to break off, beginning to break away. But it's one of those areas. Medicine and prescriptions are one of those areas where it's still very much like you can understand why Martin Luther found it important to say, you know what?
I don't need a prescription.
I think we should maybe start printing Bibles in German.
Yeah, not in Latin. I agree.
Making it accessible.
To an extent.
And in some states, I think Florida is one of them. your blood test results will go back to the doctor before they go to you. Like they get the results before you get the results. Sometimes in some states you don't even have access to them, but for getting them from your doctor. And it's like, but it's my body. I want to know. Like, am I going to die?
I
or
get
not?
that, but I mean, there's also like you could see some stuff in there that freaks you out, but it turns out the medical explanation for that is perfectly normal or something like that. I don't know if that was the. I'm not ascribing, altruism to any of these systems. I'm just saying that it may be something other than
prescription vitamin D. Prescription vitamin D. That's a thing, right? Now I can go out and buy over-the-counter vitamin D and take it in quantities exceeding what's available by prescription.
Well, true. Yes.
Okay. Why do I have to get a prescription for like a once a week vitamin D?
Strength of a substance that you're able to get legally anyway.
Yes. If I want to take it every day, I can get it over the counter. If I want to take it once a week, you need a script. I don't know. I don't know why. Just stuff like that. We can find some common ground here to agree on. That's good to know. That's good.
Yes, and certainly that your phlebotomist is wacko.
She's definitely. I think that's I'm afraid to go back there because I don't want to have that experience again. Where it's definitely the closest. It's the one that's in Winter Garden. I guess it's technically Ocoee.
See, there you go.
It's over there on McGuire.
Ocoee. I mean, come on.
It's the closest one. I don't know that I'll go back.
Think about Ocoee.
I mean, and then I'm thinking because the walls are low. You're like in these cubicle things. They're not like a room. It's not what I'm used to. And
is it lower than your head? Is it one of those like receptionist
if I stood up
ones?
and I see over? No, it's not. It's taller. It's tall. It's at least tall. It's probably I don't know. Probably you might be able to see over. It's like a 6. I think it's probably like a 6 foot cubicle thing. And so, but I can hear other people. I'm thinking they must just. I can only imagine what they think about this woman.
Oh yeah, like
all day.
People that have to just phlebotomize next door to her.
All day. I can't.
So you go in the break room and it's got one of those boards with the yarn lines all over everything because she's been in there figuring stuff out.
And it all leads to Jamaica.
It does.
Everything.
Jamaica, Kansas. That's where she's from.
Yeah, it was weird. Ben from across the pond says most things in the UK require a prescription. I don't like ballpoint pens.
Yeah. Well, yes.
Mylanta. Like if you wanted Mylanta, do you need to get?
But my doctor said Mylanta.
Like you either trust us or don't.
Yeah, I don't understand. But
we have a system here where we say like, you don't have to wear a mask as long as you've been vaccinated. But we're not going to. In fact, we are going to disallow you from asking whether somebody has been vaccinated or not. But if you want prescription vitamin D, you're going to have to go to a doctor. We're not going to trust you with that. We will trust you as it relates to all these other things, but we're not going to. Oh my gosh, seriously. Anyway,
well,
I told you it was going to get controversial.
Yes, this is clearly.
So Claire says in the UK we're only allowed to buy 32. What's
acetaminophen, basically?
Paracetamol. Okay. Who calls it that? What kind of weird? They even have special names. Like
we have Tylenol. That's what we.
Unlike in the US where you can buy 1,000. 32 milligrams.
No, 32 pills. I think is what
they can buy 30. You can only get a month and a day. You get a month and a day. It's February. You get a bargain. Like I don't get that. I don't
see, this is what we need to do. We need to go to the UK
or Thailand, Pakistan, or Bangladesh, according to Lisa,
and go to. We got to go first to Costco and get the bulk acetaminophen and go over there and sell like bootleg Tylenol.
No, see, I understand. I agree with the idea of having to get a prescription for an antibiotic because that can have a detriment. Like the misuse of antibiotics can have a detrimental effect on public health because you are creating
and to you. I mean, If you're just
Well, yeah,
hauling
but
off
that's
and
what I'm saying.
taking
Like
some antibiotics,
but I can buy. I think no one's stopping me from buying like a carton of hot dogs and eating them all at one time. Right? There's all sorts of things I can do to myself that are going to have bad repercussions. Right? But when it comes to
true.
a pill, like we're going to be careful there. Like I can eat all the food I want that's going to make me need the statin,
Right.
but I can't get the statin.
I'm over here.
If
ignorant. I
anything,
don't even know what
maybe what
statin
they should do is maybe what they should
that?
start doing is saying you have high
Other than
cholesterol.
an island.
Moving forward, you need a prescription to buy these categories of foods.
That probably wouldn't be a bad idea.
Sorry, you now have to go to the special market to buy. Yeah,
I want a prescription sausage.
there's your show title.
Show title.
Oh.
Post
Greg
it.
thinks is now great. Now we're gonna have hot dog legislation. We already come on. We already have hot dog legislation for sure. So my other, I don't know. I don't know if you brought any pins. And for those who are new to this accidentally derivative thing, typically what happens is Marcus and I, we come into these conversations like really. I mean, it's hard to believe, I know, but completely unprepared, and just with the plan of just talking about whatever comes to mind. But we do send each other pins throughout the week about these things that we think of, like that might be good to have a conversation. And the pins are usually things that's what we'll use to fall back on if needed. And I'm not going to lie. Typically, I'm the one sending pins.
Yeah, you tend to get upset more. And see, that's pins are
I was telling Michelle this morning.
Typically generated from.
I was telling Michelle this morning. We were taking a walk, and I said, Mark, he's like, he doesn't get upset about anything. It drives me a little crazy.
See, that makes me happy.
I don't know. It is. Anyway.
I like being insufferably calm. Real quick before we move on too far, I need you to tell me what statin is, because I know that Staten Island is where New York keeps its garbage, but other than that, I know nothing of the statin.
Really?
Yes,
statin it's like for reducing your cholesterol.
Okay.
It's I'm not going to even attempt to get into the science of it without having to look it up, but it's
That's all I needed. I've never heard of that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Probably, presumably, I will fairly soon start hearing about that. I am 48.
Yeah, I have a problem with I don't take any anti-cholesterol or cholesterol reducing drugs. I probably should, and I say that because I have for me it tends to track closely with my own weight. So if I lose weight, my cholesterol goes down. If I gain weight, my cholesterol goes up. This isn't like a great mystery. Some people are thin and have high cholesterol. Like it just right?
I've known
some people are not thin and have fine cholesterol. Like there's a big genetic component to this. For me, it's kind of a me situation. Like if I know what I need to do to actually reduce my cholesterol. The problem is that I'm always like, I think I'm going to get it down on my own. and then I will, and then I'll pop back. It's like, and so as weight yo-yos, then my cholesterol yo-yo, and at some point after you do that long enough, your arteries are probably like, you know what, we could use a little help here.
Hey,
like we could use a little help. Maybe you shouldn't turn. Maybe you should just say okay. I don't know. So I
always imagine Hans and Franz from Cranium Command getting all mad at me.
Might be at that point soon, but Michael says cholesterol's overrated. Yes, it is. But
mine certainly is.
The other thing I wanted to talk to you about, and this I think will be something others can commiserate with jointly, is that I wanted to talk about the cocktail menu.
Yeah, that was the one right after Conspiratorial Phlebotomist, and
I was out with friends, and this happened. I think I sent you the pin like when I was out to dinner because
I think so because I was like, oh, I got left out of another meal.
Oh, I wouldn't say you were left out.
You wouldn't?
No, I mean,
Was it unpleasant for you?
parts of it, yes.
Okay.
So, including this
Wouldn't it
one.
have
So
been
we're
more fun
so
if I was there
we're sitting
making
there.
snide comments?
This happens all the time. This happens all the time. So in this particular situation, it was even worse than normal. But you sit there and we had to ask for like the beverage menu
Yeah.
because the menu that we were provided just had food on it.
Yeah.
Like,
What's that about?
and I was like, "Is there a beverage menu?" And she says, "Oh yes, and let me get that for you." So first thing, why does it have to be separate?
That is weird, isn't it?
You know, like why can't you just think? Are you changing it up?
And
It's
why do you ever bring one and not the other?
They should, maybe they should just be clipped together or something. I don't know.
Or
Like,
a page and the other one or something. Yeah.
so there's that. Okay. Number 2. Why is it they will, and this happens almost universally, where the cocktail menu is separate, even in a lounge environment,
Yeah.
they will bring you one.
Oh yeah, for
They
the
will
whole
bring
table.
one
Yeah.
cocktail menu for the entire table.
Especially if it's like a wine list that has like 6 pages or something, and it's like, well, this is going to take anyone a lot of time to peruse. Why do we have one for the table? And then they come back like 35
It's not
seconds
like
later and go, what does everybody want to drink? And I
That's
was
my
like,
number 3.
More damn
Right.
time.
You bring me one menu, and you expect. It's not like they're bringing me the Bible, where it's like, oh yes, I
Right.
have a favorite chapter and verse here. Let me just turn to this. Sermon on the Mount, lovely year. That's what I'll have. No,
I'd like to read for you from Sommelier 14:7.
so you have something from Matthew that's nice. Like I don't like they bring you this thing that you're right.
have
You
a
have
lot
to
of
you have to look at this for the first time you've ever seen it, typically, and they bring it one for the entire table, and then so I am typically like I will pass it. It's like the bread, you know, like I will just pass it first. I don't want to take the first
yeah.
piece. I want to give someone else the chance. But then every time I do that, I end up really like getting the short end of the stick
With
or the
no
short
bread.
stick or whatever you call it, because they'll come back and ask what you want, and I haven't even seen it yet, and I'm sitting there watching other people study it. Like, are you finished with that? No, I start judging them. Now they're creating conflict in my social group just because they didn't have more menus to share.
Right.
Then I don't always want the same thing again.
Yeah, that's another one. Like, you want another one? No, I don't. I want a new thing. Yeah.
So, but they will try to, because apparently they don't make cocktail menus or beverage menus in the same quantity that they make the food menus. I think that's why you only ever get one.
Which is silly.
I don't know. I think that maybe they get taxed higher. Maybe they cost more money for the papers, more money. I don't know.
Stamp
But
acted.
they only give you, and then they want to take it back from you. And I'll say,
Yeah.
can I hold on? Can I hold on?
Maybe
to one
that's
of
the
these?
only one
Can
in
you
the
hold on?
restaurant, you know? Like, table 4 has no idea what we have in the wine cellar. And of course I don't. So we need to give them the menu.
It's killing me. Like it drives me crazy. So, and I'm looking and seeing that there's a lot of conversation now about cholesterol. So I'm going to stop looking at that. And so we're sitting there, and I say, can I hold on to this? And I even added the caveat of, as long as you don't need it.
Right. They're like, well, we do.
And she's like, oh yes. Then seconds later, I kid you not, within 15 seconds, she comes over. She like is moving a plate and she takes the menu from. And I almost said something, and then I realized she was making room for food that was being. But I was so angry by this point about so many other things that I was this close.
Like the phlebotomist.
I was this close. And the person I was sitting over with, they said, "Oh, I saw your face." Yeah.
Here we go.
But I don't understand. Like, is it just me? Like,
Red
I don't
five, I'm
understand
going in.
why is this like a universal?
I don't know, and it is
Ooh.
universal. That is crazy, and the whole thing where she comes back and do you want another one and wanting a new thing, and then that starts a whole new chapter of this, and also it having the thing be 75 pages long and only one for the whole table kind of makes that situation happen where now that if she waits for everyone to study that giant tome of the menu, there's no way that first person remembers what they were going to get. And
Right.
so they've got to look at the menu again in order to order. And then we start that all around where everybody is now going, well, now I got to look at it again too, because now I don't remember what I was going to get. Because nobody goes, I want this. They're like, I might get that,
Yes.
I might get that, I might get that. And then they made a decision, but now they don't remember. And I've never figured out if that's me or if that's everybody, because I know that and I think we might have talked about this before, but when playing something like Texas Hold'em or whatever, or any kind of poker, I'm dealt cards. I look at them. I got a 6 and a 4, and one of them is a diamond and one of them is a club. Cool. I have no idea what cards I have now. I have to look at them again. I have to keep looking at them
right?
because I zero clue.
Did I see
Completely
that right?
goes right out of my head.
Let me check that again. Okay, let me check that again. Yes.
Is this 7 of cups? What the hell is that? Yeah. So it's
which is like you're like a magician's worst nightmare too. Like,
right. Is this your card? I honestly don't remember.
I don't know. I don't remember. Sure. Yes.
It's fun
Yes,
watching
very
their
good.
face just melt off of there when you say that to them. Is this your card? I have no idea.
You pray it's not one of those bits where they're like deliberately getting the wrong card first.
Right.
And you're like,
yes,
oh,
yes,
yeah,
it is.
that's it.
You're like,
Because
oh.
that would be me. I don't want to make the person feel bad. Like, is that your card? You're like, yeah, it is.
Right.
It doesn't matter because I don't want to make it.
Yeah, it's like I was trying to help you out, man. It's like, no, this is a whole bit.
So there was this Penn and Teller bit that I used to do when I was a kid, and it involved how do I not give this secret away? Okay, so it involved like the person drawing a card.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then you shuffle it back into the deck, and and you shuffle and you shuffle and you shuffle, and then you have them shuffle, and then blah blah blah, right? And then you like tap the top of the deck and you say, "Is that your card?" And like, no. Okay. And you do it again. It's like, is that your card? Like, no. It's like, oh, okay. Well, that didn't quite work out. Let's just watch some TV, right? So then you turn on the television, and there's like a news program on, and they're like talking like they're finishing up the news, and then somebody hands them something and say, oh, this just in. Is that your card? And they hold up like this big card, and that's the card, and that's the trick.
Just Penn and Teller. It was the 3 of clubs.
It's a fun thing. Right?
It is cool. Yeah. I
was doing this trick for one of my older brother's girlfriends. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Shuffles, do all the thing. Okay. Tap the top of the deck, pulls the card. I say, is that your card? Yes. I looked at it like maybe she's being kind. Right? Like maybe it's not actually the card, but she doesn't want to make me feel bad. Which I can relate to.
Yeah, sure.
It's the card.
But it was. Task failed successfully.
I don't like. And she's like, "Oh, that's good." I'm like, "No, you don't understand.
Wait.
I don't think you are fully appreciating how good that is, actually. like that doesn't happen.
Right.
Like I didn't really get the full appreciation that I should have gotten. I mean, I didn't really play a role in that.
No,
but yeah,
the odds were definitely in your favor, but
yes,
it also screwed the joke.
It only messed the whole thing up, right? The success of it messed the whole thing up.
She's like, do it again, and you're like, no, we don't do those again. we never do them twice.
No, you can't.
There's usually another reason why we don't, but
right. But
in this case, because it ain't gonna work.
No, you'll be like when you get the same card again, you're going to be a little
But that's the whole
curious.
point of card magic, right? Is like you picking a card and me going, "Is this your card?" and it being your card. That's like kind of boring. It's all about how you find the card and how
That's
the
right.
flourish of it and all of that. It's just like, all right, pick a card. Is it the four of diamonds? All right, there you go, magic. She's been like
Right.
the
It's like
world's most like sardonic magician. Yeah, it's a four of diamonds, right? Yeah, I know.
okay. What do you want to? Where's that cocktail menu? You're like,
Hey, look, no rabbit.
nah.
Hey, rabbit. What do you think? Cool, huh?
Well, that's what I mean. That's what it's like when you're doing magic for magicians. I feel like
Probably, yeah.
which is why a lot of like comedy magic is really kind of inside baseball
Yeah,
magic because there's a lot of just
well, it's like Penn and
those
Teller.
people.
Huh?
Most people
But
won't get
see,
it.
this is
Like,
the thing is that with Penn and Teller, especially, with others, I'm sure. But the whole thing of doing the three cups and balls thing, and then they'll do it again with clear cups, so you can see what they're doing, and that's like almost more impressive when they show
Yes.
you how they're doing it, because it's if it was real magic, that would be kind of like a cheat. So if it's how they're simulating this, and there's that other one where it was Teller and he's hooked into some kind of a thing where he's locked in a box, but he goes down under the stage and sweeps over, and then they take the front off of the stage so you can see him running around down there and doing the thing, and it's like really impressive. It's more impressive than the trick just by itself. It's pretty cool.
right, which is usually actually not the trick either. I mean, like they're basically it's kind of like a freebie. We're gonna like give you this stuff because you won't believe what is about to happen for real.
Right. Yeah. This gives you some background on what we're about to show you, but that's the real thing.
Right. And we're doing this to kind of throw you off anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So I have one more gear to switch to
Oh,
if you are interested. Something I pinned a long time ago, but you haven't taken the
I got some
debate on.
old ones here, but
Oh, you do?
yeah, I mean, I have all of them, I think, but
This occurred to me recently, like when I was returning from California and unpacking and so forth. And I'm putting all of my laundry, into the laundry basket and sorting it and so forth. I'm thinking, man, I went through a lot of stuff. Like I'm like, how many pairs of socks did I go through this week? And I have my belt that I put. I'm putting my belt back in the spot where I keep my belts. And I thought, and that's when I went back to this pin idea that I shared a while ago, which was I think it's safe to say that a belt is the dirtiest thing that we have in our wardrobe.
oh yeah, this is a very old pin. Yeah, we talked about this. This was like when we started. This I think this idea might be a year old.
It is, and my belt is a year dirtier.
Yeah, that's a long
because think about it. The belt goes everywhere with us.
Mm-hmm.
We wear it on the outside of our clothing.
Right.
If we touch our belt before and after using the bathroom, right? We don't wash the belt off. No. When's the last time you laundered your belt?
To wash ourselves off, because it's the belt, right?
When's the last time you laundered your belt?
I don't think I've ever laundered my belt.
Right?
It's a leather belt. I wouldn't want to do that.
It just got me to think like this has got to be the dirtiest thing in my wardrobe, even dirtier than shoes.
Well,
because at least shoes have friction. Like at least shoes,
like you're wiping them off,
you're walking around. Yeah. And yeah. So like, your certain surfaces you walk on and immediately thereafter, they're probably really nasty. Right. But then you continue to walk through the world, and most surfaces, as we've seen, what was it on Mythbusters? Like most surfaces, like the kitchen tends to be
are deadly,
the dirtiest area of the house, not the bathroom.
Yeah,
You can
yeah.
culture more stuff off your kitchen counter than your toilet seat, but I digress. Um,
Well, you don't know my
and
toilet seat.
well, that's true. Not your kitchen toilet seat. That's a different
The
different thing.
kitchen toilet.
We could talk about Marcus's toilet situation all day.
Certainly, last episode
But
was all about it.
but like it got me. It has me worried. Like maybe there should be some sort of way, like disinfecting box or something for belts. I
I don't know why.
know it's
But
not good.
the phrase "disinfecting box" really.
Well, like they have these things for your
Just funny.
phones. I even saw one of these in a in a where was I? I saw, is it a restaurant or a store? It was like a disinfecting thing for your
the
phone. Like
phone?
you could,
Yeah,
yeah,
I've seen that.
it's like a
I
little
don't know what
box and you
it's
throw it in
doing.
there and it's got like ultraviolet light or something and it's
That
killing
I
the
don't
stuff.
know. I guess maybe
Probably getting
but
all your information off of it too, and then
it's like we need to disinfect this browser.
yes. So somebody's saying you don't disinfect your belt lately. Clorox wipes? No, I don't think anyone ever does that. No one does that. No one disinfects their belts. I'm pretty sure. Mary says this makes me glad I don't wear a belt.
See,
I mean,
that's
that is
why
the
I don't
alternative,
typically wear pants, to be honest.
You know what? It just you can't.
Can't get
It's easier
dirty
to just wash
if
the
you
stuff
don't
off
wear
your
it.
legs. This is true. This is true. I just, I mean, I don't mean to gross anybody out. I just think that these are some of the things I'm worried about.
this isn't surprising to me.
Do you wash your clothes every time you wear them?
Jeans I will typically wear twice before I wash them. But everything else, yeah. I wash
Everything else.
after one. Well, I can't think of it like shirts. Yeah,
Let's
I mean,
say you put a nice shirt on and you go out to dinner with
okay.
Emily,
Yeah,
and then and you come immediately back home, and the shirt's not dirty. You didn't sweat in it. You didn't like.
Right.
Will you not hang that shirt back up?
I will. I can't. Yeah, like you said, as long as I haven't like really sweated in it or it didn't like get rained on or something. I mean, something about that makes me think it's dirty when it's probably not remotely
Well, it
any
may be.
more dirty.
Yeah,
But
it may activate the stinkiness or something.
right. If it has activated stinkiness, then I'd certainly throw it in the wash.
This shirt free of activated stinkiness.
But especially if it's like a linen shirt, it's like I was going through the wrestling a bear like process of ironing a linen shirt. Then I will probably go. I'm keeping this for next time so that I can get at least 2 wears out of that one ironing job because wow.
So we went to Alex is home from college, and we went to Citrico's for dinner the other night.
Nice choice.
It was very nice. It was nice. It's been decades since I've been there.
Yeah, I don't know when the last time I was.
And we get back home, and you got the kids. We actually got the kids to wear collared shirts, which is a big deal.
Nice.
And I know.
Milestone.
And then they get home. They get back home, and I think. Oh, I remember. They were in their rooms, and I was getting ready to say goodnight to them, and I go in and say goodnight to Henry, and he's still wearing his shirt, like his nice, like it's like a polo, and I was like, "Oh, you're still wearing your shirt?" He's like,
He
"Yeah."
hasn't put his play clothes on.
And I said, "Well, yeah." And I was like, "Oh, like you didn't just hang it back up?" And he's like, "Well, no, I'm going to wash it." And I was like, "Well, did it get dirty?" And he's like, "No." I was like, "Well, you don't have to wash, and like you wore it
About
one
to blow some
time,
minds here.
unless you got food on it. Like you don't have to wash it again." He looks at me like what? He's
Now,
like,
is it a eureka
I don't-
moment or is it a
"No, yes,
infidel
no, Eureka."
moment?
It's like, what do you mean? What do you mean? I don't have to
monster.
wash it, having worn it once. Like, I think, all this it just popped in his mind. Like, oh my Lord, like this changes everything.
His entire worldview just got turned right upside
Yes,
down.
and knowing now, if I was to have that same conversation with Alex, and if he had the same sort of like what moment, his mind would go different. So for Henry, it's more uh, oh, I don't have to do as much laundry now.
Right.
Right. And Alex's mind would be more like, I only need to own 2 shirts.
Yeah. I no longer have to do laundry.
Right. I only need 2 shirts. Like, period. Great. Because he's the kind of guy who's like, he could get away with having basically the Steve Jobs type of wardrobe. Like,
Right. Yeah.
Just, like,
that's the thing. It needs to be nondescript so that you can get away with it. Everybody's going to notice if you're still wearing the same New Kids on the Block shirt or something. Like, hey, wait a minute.
I know. I do wish I had some shirts from that era. Not New Kids on the Block, but
I was noticing at Disney Springs the other day that people are wearing Maui and Sons gear again. I remember
really?
that being huge in the 80s. I hadn't seen that stuff in a long time. I'm
Yeah, I
waiting
don't
for a
think I-
Varney shirt.
I should have kept some of this stuff.
Spuds
I should've-
McKenzie. Party
For a long
animal?
time, like I would keep stuff not because I thought, oh, it'll come back into style, but like I'll fit in this again one day.
Right.
You know?
Have weird, like, aspirational, nostalgic clothes.
Yes, and I should have been like labeling the bins with like weights on them rather than seasons.
That's not a bad idea, actually.
They should say like this isn't like or even the years or something like that
Yeah.
way. I
Year
know.
and weight. So if I can get back to that weight,
Yes.
or that year, then I've got some clothes.
Well, I do have that. Like I have my, they have like top shelf beverages and like rail, kind of like I have that.
Sure.
Like I have
With
the clothes that I'm wearing now, and the clothes that I hope to be able to wear soon.
Okay. Now,
And
do
then
you
I have the
purchase
clothes over here,
clothes
like-
with that, or is it clothes that you will get back into, or do you actually
Oh, yeah,
purchase aspirational clothing?
Not on purpose.
I've accidentally done that too. Yeah, I
I've-
know math. 34
I mean,
is
I've
supposed to be
accidentally
34.
bought stuff that needed to be like in like it needed to be tailored, and I didn't know it was going to need to be tailored, so it fits perfectly, except for that it's 7 feet long, like the pants or something. Like, oh, huh? So I still have them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, it's just too much work.
Yeah, taking back.
I'm never
stuff
going to do
sucks.
that. It's like, I'm not even afraid of the Joey thing. Like, I just don't. It's just too much work, and then every time you do it, you feel like you're putting the person out. Like,
To get
even though
your
you're a
stuff altered?
tailor, even though they're a tailor, like, okay, let me get my pins,
Literally their thing. Yeah.
and then you stand there
On the box, yeah, it's
in the box, like,
awkward.
oh, please, we're gonna need you to climb up on the altar
Right.
and stand in the mirrors, so and position yourself so you can see all the people who are watching you get tailored.
36 of which are you, because those mirrors like have this effect where there's like 60 of you.
And it's always this guy that speaks like, it doesn't even matter if it's a guy or gal, like they never speak your language. It's like, English is always the second language at best.
Sure, yeah.
And then
but there's always some
and they're
from
asking
some
you
cool clothing, culture like Italian or something.
sure. Like,
For me,
I don't
yeah,
know.
for me,
Like,
it's like
it's just an accent. And I'm like, and they're asking me things or whatever, like, how do I want certain things? It's like when you go to the barber and they're like, how do you want, like, like, how much do you want? I don't know. Like what you did last time.
to make this
Make
this shorter.
Like, if you know better than I do. You're a tailor.
Yeah, you tell me what
What
works
am I
on me.
supposed
I don't
to do?
know.
Don't let me pick something that's going to make me look foolish.
That's the thing, right? Because it's
How
like
about
if I
that?
tell you to do something and you do it and you're there going, this is going to suck. I
How
need
many
you to
years
tell
did-
me that.
How many years did I go not knowing what a break is?
I was just going to bring up the break. I still
Like,
don't
do you
really
want a
know
break?
the
Like, I don't
It's
know.
like
Do I want a break?
It's like, yeah, no, I don't want you to break anything. What?
Like,
I don't want
Would you like a break? Do
Just
you like a break? Do you want a break?
make
Like,
it
I don't know.
straight across the bottom, maybe.
You want a break or not?
I just want it to be pants. Can it be pants? If it's pants, I'm good.
Do you want? Like, do you want a cuff? I don't know. Probably not, because stuff gets
Do
caught
I?
in the cuff. Cuffs are dirty.
I can
They're not
keep
as dirty
a
as
penny in
belts,
there.
but they're dirty.
Make it a big enough cup that I can keep things in it.
Yeah, can I put pennies in there?
Yes,
Weigh it down.
I want to hide my credit
Because I
cards.
walked over one of those subway grates.
Whoop.
No. Yeah, I don't know. I just can't. And then I feel like clothing changes too.
Yeah, and too quickly these days. I mean, I know
And
that's
also,
such an old person thing to say, but
well, like, no, I mean, like the sizes, like the weight, like the waist size.
there's that. Yeah.
Like, you can buy the same waist size from two different companies and have a very different experience.
And I'll tell you another thing is
It's not like metric versus imperial or something.
You can have been the guy that gets the whatever waist size jeans from maybe even two different stores. You know, like a Lucky and the Gap or something like that. You've been 36 on both of those. And then you have to go and get your measurements taken for like a tux for somebody's wedding. And they take your waist measurement and it's 42. And you're like, what?
Yeah. It's like going to the doctor. It's like the scale at the doctor's. You're like, let me empty my pockets. Hold on. I got some change in here.
I know.
I don't want this to count. Let me
take off my dirty
Let me take
ass
the case
belt
off my phone. Like, it's yeah, I can't. It's exactly like that. It's not the same. It's like, does your tape measure have a little give to it or something?
Yeah. Is that elastic?
Are you measuring the same
Is that thing
spot?
elastic?
Like, oh, that's where I'm supposed to wear my pants.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
oh, there's that too. Oh, there's always and I'm not going to name names, but we all have that friends who believe they're like grown men, and I mean grown in all directions, who believe that their waist hasn't changed since college.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you know, it's fine, except when they start to brag about it. Like, so what size waist are you in? Like, oh, I'm a 34. Like, you haven't been a 34 since 1997.
You were wearing a 34.
You like
look like a potato with like toothpicks sticking out of the bottom.
But what they've done is they've just lowered the waistline so that the pants have this like 45-degree angle to them now.
Yes.
Like, right?
Yes.
So that the belly is fully out and being supported by the shirt, which is always tucked in. Which is you're not at 34.
Right. Knock it off.
I mean,
was that metric?
It's like, and that's where your pants are supposed to be. Anyway,
it's like, I don't know what your waist size is in Fahrenheit, because it ain't no 34.
Oh, so there's comments about the watches.
I do actually
really
clean my watch whenever because I wear my Apple Watch to work out, and it gets all sweaty, and so I'll wash it off when I get home because that's gross.
I do too. Yeah, but sometimes I'll cheat. Sometimes I'll cheat and I'll just wear it into the pool.
Oh well, that works. I mean,
and I feel like that chlorine like kills it all. I mean, I still shower after the pool,
like
but I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't feel like the watch needs it at that point. But yeah, I will do the whole thing. I'll take it off.
I don't wear my belt when I go swimming, though.
Maybe you should. You should definitely wear a belt.
It ain't no 34, I'll tell you that.
Oh my goodness! I think. How do we wrap this up today? Like, I don't know how.
I don't know.
Do we kill? How do we usually kill it? Usually when it ends up happening, somewhere kind of behind the scenes. Typically, what will happen is I'll say something like, I think we're good. Are we good? I think we're good.
And it's usually just somewhere just a little before that, you know, when we've had a big laugh moment or something, and
then we'll just cut
it off.
End it there.
And,
go ahead. Is that what you're just like out of breath or something? Are you out of breath?
That's just, you know.
You look very like contemplative right now.
I am contemplative. I'm thinking of how to end the show.
So somebody asked about the Batman alphabet book, and I did not remember to bring it.
I still want to do like a special thing for that. Like,
you do?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like we were talking about just before we started, find somewhere like Tim Burton-y and have you read it there. Film it.
Okay. I mean, because I don't think I can make it through the whole thing without reading it. I can make
Yeah.
it through a little bit, but not the whole thing. I do have the book at home. That was confirmed. Henry confirmed that.
Oh, cool.
I said, where do you have that? He's like, oh yeah, it's in the.
Because you looked it up on what is that, eBay or Amazon?
That was
and it
Amazon,
like
and there was
some bucks now.
How much was it?
112.27 looks like paperback. Well, not even the hardcover. That's nuts.
Oh, Mary's asking, I want to know if you sit on your bed with pants on that you wore out in public. I do not do that.
I don't think I actually even get in my bed until I'm like ready for bed.
Yeah.
Which means no pants.
But all that being said, Mary, my dogs are all over the bed. And I'm well aware that like they're not cleaning their feet off after they come in
I think
from
your
outside.
pants are the least of your worries there.
My pillowcase, I'm pretty sure I'm catching something on a regular basis from my pillowcase.
You probably have a really good immune system because of that.
Because the Aussie in particular, who insists on sleeping at our heads like a cat, I'll wake up to her licking my pillowcase. I'm like, and there's a wet spot on my pillowcase. I'm like, why is there a wet spot on my pillowcase? So you know what I have to do, because it's the middle of the night. I just turn the pillow over.
And she starts on the other side.
But at some point that pillow is turning back over again.
Right, yeah.
Like,
and she's like, well,
yeah,
I've licked my butt enough. Let's lick the pillowcase. Sweet dreams, Jason.
That's what I worry about. I'll even say that to them, like, don't lick your butt yet. You don't need to lick your butt. Michelle can attest to this. I'll be like, you don't need to lick your butt right now.
Priorities, man.
Because I know what you're doing next. Next is going to be you're going to try to give me a kiss. There's none of that action happening. Even though I know that it happens probably all the time, I just don't see it happen. I just don't want to be aware of the butt to face kiss thing happen. Like I don't want to know about it. I know that it happens. I would prefer to be blissfully unaware of that situation.
That would be a great clip to use out of context.
And I think that's it.